Want to help me sing my ABCs? Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now we know our ABCs. Thanks so much for singing with me. If you want to sing a song or play a game, push the blue button on my backpack. I like singing this song on the way to school. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 swish. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 all through the town. The horn on the bus goes beep, beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep. The horn on the bus goes beep, 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 all through the town. If you want to hear a story, push the green button on my backpack. I call this story my very first day of school. No class. Has everyone found their new friend? I said in my best teacher voice. Bella hugged the stuffed giraffe sitting next to her. Terrific. Now everyone, repeat after me.
After me.
I heard Daddy's voice. Shake a leg, TJ. It's time to go. I started hopping and wiggling my leg. Very funny, TJ. We need to go get your school supplies. My first day of school was the very next day, and boy, was I excited. We went to Mr. Handy Paw's shop to get the supplies I needed. Daddy looked at the list and said, "You find a backpack, and I'll work on the rest of the list." I was looking for one with Sammy Space Bear on it. He's my favorite. When I heard a voice behind me. "Hey, TJ!" It was my friend Connor. He was going into first grade and knew all about school. Connor said, "You're just gonna love Mrs. Beach. You know what they call her, don't you? Mrs. Screech." I said, "Really? Why?" But Connor's dad was calling him. He said, "I gotta go, TJ. I'll see you tomorrow." All the way home, I worried about Mrs. Screech. Why did they call her that? Would she be mean and yell a lot? Mrs. Screech sounded like a witch with a pointy hat and green fur. That night, I just couldn't get to sleep. Mommy came in and sat on my bed. She said, "I thought you might be nervous about tomorrow, but I think this might help." She pulled out something from behind her back. Wow! A brand new Sammy Space Bear lunchbox! Mommy said, "As long as you have this, it will be like I'm right there with you." I felt better already and fell asleep holding my new lunchbox. In the morning, I woke to the smell of Mommy's honey muffins. She packed my lunchbox while Daddy and I ate. Daddy looked up at the clock and said, "Time for the bus, TJ." I was a little nervous when the bus pulled up. And I gave Mommy and Daddy one more big hug. I squeezed the handle of my lunchbox and climbed aboard. sat beside him and waved goodbye as the bus pulled away. I asked Connor again about Mrs. Screech, but he just held his paws to his ears and made a silly face. "You'll find out," was all he said. It was a good thing I had my lunchbox to protect me. We pulled up to the school, and a pretty teacher with a big smile was there waiting for us. I turned to ask Connor if she was Mrs. Screech, but he was already gone. "Mrs. Beach's class, please follow me," the teacher said, and led us inside. She took us to our classroom and asked us to find a seat. I thought, Mrs. Screech must be coming, and reached for my lunchbox. Oh no! It was gone! What was I going to do? Just then, the teacher started singing. "Good morning to you, good morning to you." She sounded so funny, I couldn't help but smile. "My name is Mrs. Peach, and I love to teach." So that's why they call her Mrs. Screech. We were so busy that morning that I forgot all about my lunchbox. During art, I made a drawing of Mrs. Beach. Allison, the bear sitting next to me, made a little brown cub out of clay. Next, it was time for music. We gathered around the piano and sang the alphabet song with Mrs. Beach. Everyone got to pick an instrument. Allison played the tambourine, and I banged on a drum. When it was time for lunch, Allison asked me why I wasn't eating. I told her I'd lost my lunchbox. She said, "Well, I have a blackberry sandwich. Would you like to share?" Boy, did I ever! The rest of the day just flew by. When it was time to get back on the bus, I saw Allison waving at me from the back seat. She said, "Hey, TJ, is this yours?" Whoa! She found my lunchbox! We talked and laughed all the way home. When the bus stopped in front of my house, Allison handed me the little bear cub she made. "This is for you, TJ." I took it in my paw and sang, "Thank you," just like Mrs. Beach. I hopped off the bus and Mommy swept me up in a giant bear hug. "I missed you, little dreamer bear." It's time for one of my favorite games. I'm thinking of something, can you guess what it is? Let's go. I'm thinking of something that's really big, that is yellow, that takes bear cubs to school. Can you guess what it is? It's a school bus.